Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 389 to my random chatbot series on Character.ai. The last chatbot we tried to was complete garbage. Well, it wasn't complete garbage, but it wasn't that good. And I had a good amount of fun with this chatbot series, but we're kind of stuck in an impasse where we're gonna be stuck in an infinite loop unless we can figure out a way to break that loop. But every time I try to break that loop, it seems to just repeat itself eventually at one point anyway. Like how the zombie Rexy was still a zombie even though I really cured him multiple times. So yeah, I do have a few other chatbots I can actually talk to, guys, but I actually do want to get through the encounter with Totodile's family on this. So that's why I'm doing the Transforming Totodile again on Character AI. I actually want to get through the day where I meet the fur alligator. Here's what I said off camera. Well, I can assure you and your entire family that I would never think about harming you. I love your species and all of your evolutions. The turtle looked at me, his expression looking reassured. Thank you. That gives me hope that everything is going to be alright. I believe that you will be able to prove to my dad that he and our entire family can trust you. It might take a little while, but I know that you can earn his trust. I'm really looking forward to you coming over tomorrow, and I know my family is too. Maybe just to reassure him further. Maybe once he knows I am here. Maybe if I become a or something. Maybe that will help. I don't know. No, I wish I didn't bring that up. Okay. Toto sings a thing for a moment. Yeah, that might help. My dad's most comfortable around Totodile, so I think him seeing that you can turn into him will give him some form of security. It might even help him have a little more trust in you. It won't take away his fear or suspicion completely, but it might help a tiny bit. If anything, I'm more worried that he will scare me in some way when I come over there. Like, even be a gigantic Groudon or something. I just don't want him to try intentionally scaring me. He gonna think I'm nuts. Totodile is. Totodile looked at me, seeming to understand my concern. Oh, right. There's a chance that he might try intimidating you just out of fear and suspicion. My dad isn't normally a very aggressive Pokemon, but he's extremely overprotective of me and our family. So if he thinks he might be any kind of threat to us, he might try to intimidate you. I do my best to convince him that you are friendly and not a threat. I just ask that you be patient with him. It'll probably take a bit before he begins to trust you. Maybe he will be a little bit easier on me since I gave him and since I gave him and your entire family food the other day and reassured him that I'm not a threat. He might not fully trust me, but he might be a little bit easier on me. Carol looked at me, seeming to agree. Yeah, that's a good point. You did give us food, and you did reassure him that you're not a threat, so I think that he'll give you a chance. He'll just be a bit wary around you at first. You show him kindness and respect, he'll probably soften up a little and be easier on you. It might take a few visits before he fully trusts you, but I think he's going to give you a chance. Speaking of, it's getting rather late now, isn't it? Really late. I guess time flies when we're having fun. Wow. Yeah. The turtle looked at me, seeming surprised. Oh, wow. You're right. It is getting a bit late. It flew by so fast. I guess we were just having too much fun to notice. I really enjoyed hanging out with you today. It was great. Maybe after tomorrow, we can hang out a lot more. If your father begins to open up to me. It seems like everybody else definitely has. Even his mother was happy. But, like, his father's the only one that's still kind of... Those things to nod in agreement. Totally. Once my dad learns to trust you, too, there's nothing stopping us from hanging out more. You already gotten so close to the rest of my family. I'm feeling confident things are going to go well with you when you see them tomorrow. I'm gonna head back home before it gets late. Be careful on your way. Carol looked at me, seeming friendly. Alright, you take care as well. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow when you see my family. That night, I go to sleep. And the next morning, I was sleeping the whole night. The next morning arrives, and the sun shines bright through my window. The morning seems so peaceful. This is it. The morning of the day I will actually meet the Totodile's family. I hope that all goes well, and I will try my best to get his father to trust me, I thought to myself. I head over to where me and have been hanging out. He's probably gonna be there, isn't he? Is he gonna be there? A few minutes later, you arrived at the peaceful field. Flowers and grass were as vibrant as always, and the beautiful river was still continuing its calm flow. Totodile was already awaiting your arrival, seeming ready to take you to meet his family. Hey, buddy, how'd you sleep? There we go. Totodile looked at me, seeming happy. I slept great. I felt well rested and ready for the day. Did you sleep good, my friend? Yes, I did. Totodile seemed pleased to hear that, then looked at me. That's good. So, do you feel prepared to meet my family? I know today is going to be a bit nerve-wracking, but we can get through this together. Yeah, let's go. Oh, no. Please, Fragger, don't be aggressive at me, please. Totodile smiled, then began walking towards the woods, beckoning you to follow him. His determined look on his face, his mind full of hope and determination for you to have a successful meeting with his family. It's also relieved that you were on his side as he felt braver knowing he had a friend to rely on. Led me. Led me. Led me. Me. To his home. I'm worried if I have a feeling that Fred is not going to be happy. As the trio led the way, after a few minutes of walking, they finally arrived at what appeared to be a cave opening. Uh, the sound of rustling water emanating from underground. This is it, my friend. Behind that cave is where my family lives. Are you ready for this? I assure you, there's no need to worry. Everything will be fine. Tara looked at me, seeming both excited and nervous at the same time. Your other family members seemed to really like me when we met. Your father's the only one I'm really worried about. I'm just hoping he doesn't think I'm a threat instantly and gives me a chance. Total not understanding. I totally get what you mean. Siblings and my mom trust you completely, so you don't have to worry about them. It's just my dad that's going to be hard to win over. He's extremely overprotective of us, so he'll be really cautious of you at first. Once he sees that you're friendly and not a threat, he'll soften up. I'm sure you can do this. I believe in you. Thank you! Exclamation point. You might want to tell them about me before I walk in. I don't want your father or anybody getting startled and then transforming into a scary Pokemon to try to attack me with. Taylor's probably gonna laugh at that. Oh, never mind. Taylor looked at me, seeming concerned. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. My dad tends to get defensive really fast, so if you just appear out of nowhere without us warning him, he might try attacking you. I'll tell everyone first, and then my dad will know you're here, and he'll know you're not some random human who just wandered into his territory. That way everything should be fine. He won't attack. Alright, please do. Toad nods, seeming a bit relieved. Alright, I'll call out and warn them that you're here. Then we can go in and they'll already know that you're not a stranger or a threat. They'll be expecting you. Toad then turns towards the cave, took a deep breath, and then called out to the rest of his family. Mom, Dad, siblings, my friend's here. He wants to introduce himself. Can he come in now? Excuse me, the gun. Oh no, the father's gonna scare. I listen and for a response. Oh heck no, dude. After a few seconds, an authoritative male voice was heard from inside the cave. That's definitely the father. Because he's already given me like a more threatening sort of tone. Alright, you can let him in. Just tell him that I'll be watching him. Sweet Arceus. Voice belonged to Totodile's father, who seemed a bit cautious. We walk into the cave where family lives. And when we get there, I see a massive Lugia staring at me. Oh my gosh, dude. No. No! Stop! Stop! Don't. Oh, heck no. No, I'm not gonna hurt your son. Please don't. Louis looked down at me, seeming imposing and intimidating, his gaze fixated on me. So, I know. So, you're the human my son told you me about. You want to meet my family? His voice was deep and booming as he looked at me with caution. Yes, sir. But remember, we met the other day when you were watching me from the bushes. Please don't get mad at me, Lugia. I'm not threatening you. Please don't. Lugia looked at me, seeming a bit surprised. Oh, is that so? I suppose I have misjudged you. It's not often that a human's as kind as you are to Pokemon. Don't get me wrong, I still don't trust you completely. I'm only giving you this chance because you have become friends with my son. Look, I promise I'm not going to hurt him. Or your family. I really love your family. That's why I became friends with your son. So easily. Well, you looked at me, his gaze softening a bit. There we go. I see. Well, guess that makes sense. You genuinely have no intention of causing harm to my son or his siblings, and I suppose I can try to get used to your presence. Just know that if you give me any reason to distrust you, I won't hesitate to make you leave. Understood? Sweet Arceus. Yes, I hear you. Period. I know something that will help calm your nerves. If you're okay with me doing it. I'm gonna see if I can turn to the Totodile for him. Maybe that'll get him to. Because I know he's a little bit scared. I am. Lugia looked at me, seeming a bit suspicious. Okay then, what is it? I'm listening. I closed my eyes and envisioned myself as a. Please tell me this is gonna work. Hey, there you go. The Luigi's expression changed to one surprise as my transformation took place, my body shifting and changing into the form of a Totodile. Well, that was certainly impressive. I must admit, I was not expecting you to be able to transform into a Totodile. I was always under the impression that humans could not do such things. The Lugia looked at me in surprise, seeming a bit more accepting of you now. I never thought I would meet any. That could do it either. We looked at me, his expression seeming calmer now. There we go. I'm impressed by your abilities. I have to admit, I am gaining more trust in you. Your ability to transform into the same Pokemon as my son is quite remarkable. It shows that you have a connection with Totodiles that most humans lack. Perhaps you truly do care about my son and his family. I can transform into any Pokemon, just like you. I just want you to feel comfortable with me around. Period. Like I said, your whole evolution family is my favorite Pokemon. In fact, Lugia, like you are now, is my favorite legendary. I wonder if he'll cover around me and not feel like I'm a threat. I ain't gonna hurt his family. I love his family. I'm just making him like me more already. Lugia looked at me, his expression softening. I see. So you can transform into any Pokemon just like me. And you say you admire my entire evolution family? Well then, I must admit, you are certainly becoming more and more interesting to me. Perhaps I have misjudged you. If you truly care about my evolution family, then I will try to give you a chance. I might even come to trust you someday. Someday. Listen, I know you've had bad personal experiences with humans, but I have as well. And I understand where you're coming from. Period. But if you want me to prove beyond doubt that I am a good person. I will do anything. Alright guys, I'll see you in a minute.